Imagine this. You take one single M1A2 Abrams tank, a 60-ton, fire-breathing steel dragon, and you just yeet it straight into the 1300s. No backup, no Wi-Fi, no resupply. Just one modern tank dropped in the middle of a medieval battlefield with 10,000 armored knights charging toward it like it's just another Tuesday in France. Who wins? Yeah, this is going to get ridiculous real fast. The knights, of course, have never seen anything like it. They've seen dragons in stories, demons in paintings, but never something this loud, this angry, or this shiny. The tank's engine roars. That deep mechanical growl that sounds like the world is tearing in half. And every knight within a mile instantly regrets his life choices. The gunner doesn't wait. He loads a 120mm heat shell, takes aim, and boom. 30 knights vanish from existence before anyone even hears the echo. The rest stop dead in their tracks, like someone just hit pause on the battlefield. Then, the commander flips on the 50 cal, and things go from bad to please delete me from history. Hundreds of rounds per minute shred through armor, shields, and probably generations of family pride. Horses panic, formations collapse, and within 60 seconds, the most disciplined army of the Middle Ages looks like a medieval traffic jam. That, my friends, is what the Pentagon calls shock and awe. To the tank crew, it's Tuesday. So yeah, that version is boring. It's a massacre. The knights never had a chance. But let's crank up the chaos. Let's say these knights don't run. Let's say they see this metal monster and decide, yep, that's definitely Satan. Let's go stab it. Now we've got a real story. First off, the Abrams isn't just a tank. It's a land battleship with anxiety issues. It weighs 60 tons, drinks jet fuel like an alcoholic Viking, and carries a 1,500 horsepower gas turbine engine, which is basically a jet strapped to a refrigerator. Its main cannon can hit targets over 4 kilometers away, and it's wrapped in composite armor so advanced that even modern missiles sometimes cry trying to get through it. Inside sit 4 humans, a driver, a gunner, a loader, and a commander. Basically 4 stressed-out gamers who happen to have the most powerful toy on the planet. Now let's meet their opponents. 10,000 medieval knights, full armor, lances, crossbows, warhorses trained to plow through human walls. They're the rock stars of their age. Disciplined, fearless, and extremely shiny. The problem? Their entire arsenal might as well be made of wet noodles against a modern tank. Swords glance off the armor like rain on a bus stop. Arrows break. And even if one knight somehow climbs on top, what's he gonna do? Stab the hatch? That's like trying to mug an airplane with a butter knife. So yes, on paper, the tank wins instantly, but hold up. It's not infinite. That metal god has limits. It carries about 40 main shells and around 10,000 rounds for the machine guns. Sounds like a lot until you realize there are 10,000 enemies. Do the math. Also, it runs on fuel. About 500 gallons of it. And burns 60 gallons an hour just cruising. And surprise, there are no medieval gas stations. Once the tank runs dry, it's basically a very expensive rock. And there's the human factor. Inside, it's hot, loud, cramped. The crew can get tired, sweaty, and paranoid. Meanwhile, the knights outside, they can wait. They've done sieges for months before lunch. They know patience. The tank needs to end this fast, before the numbers start closing in. Now picture the terrain. If it's flat and open, the Abrams becomes a steel sniper nest. The knights never even get close. But put it in a forest, a swamp, or rolling hills, and suddenly the tables turn. Trees block movement. Mud clogs treads. Visibility drops. Thermal imaging helps, but not when you're surrounded by hundreds of heat signatures, horses, fires, people, all glowing like Christmas ornaments. So the knights adapt. No more fancy line formations. They scatter, small squads. Archers hiding behind trees, horses flanking from the sides. The tank crew is now in full whack-a-mole mode, spinning the turret non-stop. Every minute feels like an hour. The gunners yelling, the commanders sweating. The loader's regretting his career choices. The stress builds. and mistakes creep in. Then the knights get clever. They start sending wave attacks, small groups charging in just to burn ammo. The tank takes the bait. Boom, boom, boom. The rounds start dropping, and that's the trick. It's not about winning the fight. It's about draining the monster. But our modern crew isn't stupid either. They switch tactics. Shoot and scoot, fire, move, vanish. The knights never know where the next shot's coming from. They try regrouping. By the time they do, the Abrams has already moved 2 fields away. Then the tank uses hull-down positioning, hiding most of its body behind a hill, so only the turret sticks out. The knights can't even see the damn thing. They just hear the thunder. Boom! 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 Every blast echoes like divine punishment. At night, it's even worse. The tank shuts off its engine and becomes a silent predator. The thermals turn the world into a glowing horror movie. The knights see nothing until a flash lights up the field and 30 of them are gone. To them, it's no longer a battle, it's a haunting. But both sides have one unbeatable opponent: time. Every reload takes a few seconds, which doesn't sound like much until a 2,000-pound horse is sprinting at your face. Machine gun belts need to be changed every couple hundred rounds. Barrels overheat. The tank crew's rhythm gets disrupted. Meanwhile, the knights are bleeding numbers but not spirit. They just keep coming. Then comes fuel. 8 hours of life. That's all the tank gets before it becomes a fancy statue. And when that engine dies, the battlefield changes again. Now the knights don't fear the roar. They move in slowly, cautiously, like hunters circling a wounded animal. But the knights have their own problems. 10,000 soldiers and horses eat a lot. Like 125,000 kilograms of food per day a lot. And horses drink enough water to make a lake cry. Without logistics, they start dropping from exhaustion. Their mounts get tired, hungry, spooked. You ever tried convincing a horse to charge a metal thunder machine? Yeah, good luck. Still, let's throw some wild cards in. The weather turns ugly, rain hits, and suddenly the open field is a mud pit. The tank's treads slip and grind, visibility drops, systems glitch. The knights? They don't care. They've been fighting in rain since birth. It's just free hydration to them. Next, mechanical failure. It doesn't take much. A rock, a tree stump, or enough mud in the wrong spot. Boom. Broken track. Now the tank's stuck. Still deadly, but immobile. And that's when the knights strike. They light torches, roll in flaming carts, toss barrels of oil. Not to destroy the tank, but to blind it, choke it with smoke, and force it to fire blindly. Someone gets creative and releases herds of animals, so cows, pigs, wild horses, as moving cover. Through the thermals, it's chaos. The tank's sensors can't tell what's a threat anymore. Everything glows. Inside, the crew's pulse skyrockets. They've been in this metal sauna for hours. Oxygen's thinning, ammo's low. Every sound outside is a potential death sentence. The commander mutters, "Just one more shot." The loader whispers, "We're out of shells." And now it's down to instinct. The final standoff. The knights circle in, shouting prayers and curses, thinking they're about to kill a demon. The tank fires its last shell. The shockwave knocks half the front line off their horses. The commander flicks the last belt of the machine gun. It spits, chokes, overheats. Silence. The knights approach. Smoke, heat. The monster is no longer moving. One brave idiot climbs on top, sword raised. He hits the hatch. Clang. No damage. He hits again. Clang. Nothing. The rest start cheering. The great beast is dead. They won. But did they really? Because in every possible version of this story, the tank wins the battle. Maybe not the war. It could break down, run dry, or get swarmed eventually. But for every knight that charges, 100 fall before getting close. If the terrain's open and the crew plays it smart, it's not even a fight. It's archaeology waiting to happen. And here's the best part. Imagine the aftermath. The few surviving knights return home, talking about a god of thunder that spat fire and ate armies whole. They build shrines, paint murals, and start a religion around a tank they'll never understand. The crew, meanwhile, has no idea what's happening. They're just sitting inside, sweating, listening to Gregorian chants outside their armor. Congratulations! They're prophets now, and that's how one tank accidentally becomes the newest deity of the Middle Ages. Because sure, history is full of heroes, but none of them had a turbine engine, thermal optics, or 120 millimeters of divine punishment.